So, listen. Mrs. Loisel, otherwise known as Matilda, has gone to one of her friends to collect the jewelry for the wedding party that she wanted to attend. Now the problem is she doesn't have the jewelry, therefore she wanted to borrow the jewelry from her rich friend that is Madame Froister. So she fell upon the neck of her, she already visited there and her friend Madame Froister has already given her some of the, shown her some of the necklaces and jewelry, and she has picked up the necklace of her own choice now. Okay, now let's find out which one she picks up and then what happens afterwards. Okay, listen to it. She fell upon the neck of her friend, embraced her with passion, then went away with her treasure. The day of the ball arrived. Ball means here the dance party. The day of the ball arrived. Madame Loisel was a great success. Madame Loisel, that is the Madame Loisel, that is the Matilda, was a great success at the party. She was the prettiest of all, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. She was the most elegant, gracious, and of course she was very beautiful. And as she has worn the jewelry, now she looks even more beautiful, and she became an instant success in the party. Next you see, all the man noticed her, asked her name and wanted to be presented. She danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure, thinking of nothing but all this admiration, this victory, so complete and sweet to her heart. She went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband had been half asleep in one of the little salons since midnight, with 3 other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much. He threw around her shoulders the modest wraps they had carried, whose poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costume. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by the other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Okay? So she till early in the morning she was there in the party, and then she was not having the shawl or the fur, okay, the expensive one. So in order to hide that particular ordinary fur or shawl, she somehow managed to hide herself and leave the place, okay, because she could not be a match to other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Loisel detained her. Wait, said he. Mr. Loisel, there is the clerk. He detained her. Wait, said he. I am going to call a cab. But she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. When they were in the street, they found no carriage, and they began to seek for one, hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance. Okay, so she was not in a position to wait for the cab. Whatever they got, okay, carriage and all that, they got into it. Loisel, then you see, they walked along towards the river, hopeless and shivering. Finally, they found one of those old carriages that one sees in Paris after nightfall. It took them as far as their door, and they went wearily up to their apartment. Okay, they became very tired by the time they reached their apartment. It was all over for her, and on his part, he remembered that he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock the following morning. Therefore, now they will go to bed. Let's see. She removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass for a final view of herself in her glory. Suddenly she uttered a cry. Suddenly she started crying. Her necklace was not around her neck. Okay, she has lost her necklace. Loisel, already half undressed, asked, "What is the matter?" She turned towards him exactly. I no longer have Madame Froister's necklace. So the necklace that she has borrowed from Madame Froister, okay, appears to have been lost. Okay, that is why, and that is a very costly necklace. Okay, and they are not financially well off. Now, what will happen? Loisel already okay. Then and they looked in the folds of the dress, in the folds of the cloak, in the pocket, everywhere. They could not find it. He asked, "You are sure you still had it when we left the minister's house?" Her husband asked her, "Yes, I felt it as we came out. But if you had lost it in the street, we should have heard it fall. It must have been in the cab. It must be in the cab, okay? Because if you had dropped it on the street, we could have somehow managed to get the sound of it. So it seems that in all probability, you have left it in the cab. Now you see. Yes, it is possible. Did you check the number? No. And you? Did you notice what it was? No. They looked at each other, utterly cast down. Cast down means very much disappointed. Finally, Loisel dressed himself again. "I'm going," he said, "over the track where we went on foot to see if I can find it." And he went. She remained in her evening gown, not having the force to go to bed. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. He had found nothing. Okay, so he had found nothing. It is already lost. Okay, it has been lost, and there was no trace of it till 7 o'clock in the morning. Now you see, he went to the police, and then when there he did not find any trace, he did not find any trace of the necklace, then he reported the matter to the police and to the cab officers and put an advertisement in the newspapers offering a reward. Even they went on to put an advertisement in the newspaper offering a reward. She walked all day in a state of bewilderment before this frightful disaster. Okay, so she waited all day to get some information, might be from the newspaper people or might be from the police, but the entire day became a waste. Okay, Loisel returned in the evening, his face pale. He had discovered nothing. He said, "Write to your friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace and that you will have it repaired. That will give us the time." She wrote as is dictated. Then her husband came up with the solution. Why don't you write a letter to your friend asking, telling her that you have broken the clasp of the necklace, so it will take 2-3 days for the repair, okay? Repair work, so that they'll get some time of 2-3 days to even might be to find some trace of the necklace, okay? So if there is no time in their hands, then they will be left with nothing but disappointment. That is why her husband requested him to write a letter. Okay. At the weekend, she wrote as dictated. At the end of a week, they had lost all hope, and Loisel, older by 5 years, declared, "We must replace this jewel." Okay. So they did not find any trace of it. So eventually, what happened? Loisel decided that they should replace the jewel. In a shop of the Palais Royal, they found a chaplet of diamonds which seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. It was valued at 40,000 francs. Can you imagine? 40,000 francs. They could get it for 36,000. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. He borrowed the rest. He made ruinous promises to